Game delays. Game delays. I fucking hate game delays.
Sir, this is a non-specific fast food establishment.
But I love them at the same time.
Here's your food. Please leave.
But what if the development goes on for too long? The game gets delayed. It gets delayed again and again and again. Developers restart their visions. They find out things don't work and they keep restarting. Then one day, the fan is just left wondering, wonder whatever happened to this game?
We're going to be actually talking about games that have had such a long development cycle that they're in something called development hell. That's right, development hell. If you don't know what development hell is, it's essentially a game, movie, or even music that's been stuck in development for so long that it's kind of like, is it ever going to come out? Development hell is usually something that's been in development for a very long time. For instance, Dead Island 2, that was in development since 2014, and we didn't get anything about it, really, until this year. And it went through a lot of changes since the first time we saw it, with, by the looks of it, a different cast of characters, and the setting changing a bit. It was originally going to be several cities in California, but now it looks like it's only tackling LA, and it's going to be a lot smaller scale. I'm thinking it's how the first Dead Island was, with, big areas to explore, but essentially it's not exactly open world. But there's more notable games that were in development hell, like this one. Duke Nukem Forever was in development from 1996 to 2011. It's so big that it has its own Wikipedia article. And yes, I am kind of going off of this, but I will be using other sources, don't worry. I remember what my teachers in high school said. Wikipedia is a fucking easy place to go, you stupid chump. Actually look up your sources. So, not too long after the first Duke Nukem game was completed, a sequel was announced a year later, Duke Nukem Forever. It was going to be epic, and was going to be released no later than 1998. Ooh boy. And George Broussard, rather than reusing the build engine, wanted to use the Quake 2 engine, because it looked far more advanced compared to the build engine, and he was right. For that time, it did look far more advanced. It was full-on 3D, not the fake 3D. It's the real deal. At E3 1998, the first official video footage of Duke Nukem Forever was shown, using the powerful Quake 2 engine. The trailer showed fighting in the back of a moving truck with firefights with aliens. Critics were impressed, but Broussard was not happy. He didn't feel the progress being made was good enough. And then we get to the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine released by Epic Games looked far more advanced than the Quake 2 engine released by id. The project leader George Broussard said this in a press release. The switch to Unreal Engine was simply a business decision, and it came down to what we wanted to do with Duke Nukem Forever, and how best to achieve it. It's important to note that this decision has nothing to do with id Software or our relationship with them, which still remains very strong. Broussard also noted that the game would not see a significant delay, but it would take a bit more time to get ready. Although one of the game programmers, Chris Hargrove, confirmed that a total reboot would be done for the project. In the year 2000, Take-Two Interactive purchased the exclusive publishing rights for Duke Nukem Forever and all other Duke Nukem titles. A year later at E3 in 2001, Duke Nukem Forever was shown off for the first time in the Unreal Engine. And it looked impressive. We got to see the Vegas Strip and a return to the driving segments, which looked far more impressive than the Quake 2 trailer. It actually looked like Duke was going to be able to ride a motorcycle. and do all sorts of action movie badass stuff like we expect Duke to do. It also showed off some plot elements. It looked like it was going for the Thing type theme, where the EDF was compromised and you didn't know who the monsters were. And it was up to Duke by himself to save the world once again. The game looked impressive, but Take-Two's patience were waning very fast. The game had been in development for 6 years at this point, and Take-Two wanted to see results. They wanted a game to be released. George Broussard was not happy about this. He was quoted as saying, "All we want to do is keep quiet, work on the game, and emerge later and show you what we're working on. We don't want hype. We don't want drama. We don't want Take-Two saying stupid-ass things in public for the sole purpose of helping their stock." In a CNN article, there was a segment on why the fighting between the two had become so vicious. Both companies are caught in a nasty catch-22, though. 3D Realms says it is fully funding the game, which takes away any leverage Take-Two might normally have, but 3D Realms can't shop the game to another publisher, no matter how frustrated it gets, despite Broussard's claims that we find a new publisher so easy, it isn't even funny. By 2003, only 18 people at 3D Realms were actually working on the game. Former employees said Broussard and Miller were still operating on a 1995 mentality. This was before games required a large team for a big budget development. So it wasn't making the progress that everyone had really hoped for. There would be some rumors about Duke Nukem Forever moving to the Doom 3 engine, although Broussard did deny these rumors. We really wouldn't hear anything again until around 2006, where Broussard was quoting, "We're just basically pulling it all together, trying to make it fun." He also demonstrated samples of the game, including an early level, a vehicle sequence, and a few test rooms. Development was taking a toll on the staff at 3D Realms. By August 2006, between 7 and 10 employees had left since 2005. This was a majority of the Duke Nukem Forever team. A new creative director, Ralph Van Lierop, hired in 2007, played through some of the completed content and realized more was finished than he had anticipated. Lierop told Broussard that they could push the game and have it out and blow everyone out of the water, but Broussard disagreed, and they said the game was still 2 years away from completion. This possibly could have been the final nail in the coffin for 3D Realms' Duke Nukem Forever. In 2007, a new trailer was released for Duke Nukem Forever, but it didn't look as interesting as the other trailers, simply a teaser with some gameplay sprinkled in, and a look at the new and improved 3D Duke. The game was intended to be released in 2008, but that never happened. 3D Realms ran out of money, and they needed at least $6 million more to complete the game, according to Broussard and Miller. They'd go to Take-Two to ask for the $6 million, and Take-Two would initially agree, but only offer $2.5 million up front and another $2.5 million on completion. Broussard rejected the counteroffer, and on May 6, 2009, all development by 3D Realms on Duke Nukem Forever would be suspended. This seemed like the end for Duke Nukem Forever. This was the death knell of the franchise. But there was still hope. But would this hope be good? 9 ex-employees would continue development of Duke Nukem Forever. These employees would become Triptych Games, an independent studio that is housed in the same building as Gearbox Studios. 3D Realms would approach Gearbox Studios and ask if they would help Triptych finish the game. Randy Pitchford felt Duke can't die and decided he was going to help in Duke's time of need. He would start providing funding for the game and contact 2K Games president to persuade his company that Gearbox and Triptych can complete the development of the game and get it released onto all platforms. Duke Nukem Forever was officially re-announced at the Penny Arcade Expo in 2010 on September 3rd. It was the first time in game development history that gamers were able to actually try the game, according to Pitchford. And after one more short delay, Duke Nukem Forever was finally released on June 10th, 2011, after 14 years of development. Was this development time worth it, though? That is the question everyone asks.
About the game, Duke. Was it any good?
Yeah, but after 12 years, it should be.
And if we take a quick look at Metacritic, no, it wasn't. Duke Nukem Forever received mixed reviews from critics and audiences. By the time it came out, surprisingly, it already felt outdated, even though this was what Broussard was trying to avoid. There was also some controversy about the multiplayer modes like Capture the Babe
Hey, don't you know how to pick up a girl?
and stuff. Oh, that doesn't matter. What does matter is Duke Nukem Forever was such a letdown that, well, we haven't seen Duke since. And that's probably because we've outgrown him. There was a leak for the 2001 build fairly recently, and it did come with the source code and a level editor. So that build might turn into something eventually if, you know, there's no cease and desist letter sent. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and a comment. If you dislike it, leave a dislike and a comment. This one took a while, I'm not gonna lie. And, I stayed up really late to edit it, so, yeah. I hope you enjoy it. It was worth it to make it for me, because I really wanted to make this video. And I'm thinking of making more videos like this. Just, these ones take more time, so we're probably going to see more of the article reading content. But now, I'm going to go get some sleep, and I got another video planned where I'm going to try to play through some of Duke Nukem Forever. Not all of it, I'm probably going to play like the first few levels. It's going to be like a heavily edited Let's Play, basically. But I still got to record the gameplay for it, so let's hope it comes out soon. Anyways, have a good night.